The village elders spoke. Their voices, weathered by time and experience, carried the weight of countless generations. They gathered under the ancient oak, a tree that had witnessed the rise and fall of many leaders. The air was thick with anticipation, and the villagers watched with bated breath. A new leader was needed, someone strong, someone brave. The village had faced many challenges, but this time the threat was greater than ever before. The elders knew that only a person of exceptional courage and strength could lead them through the perilous times ahead, someone who could protect them. The village needed a guardian, a protector who could stand against the harsh elements and the dangers that lurked in the shadows. The safety of the community depended on finding the right person for this monumental task. Their eyes fell upon Anya. She stood tall and confident, her presence commanding respect. The elders saw in her the qualities they sought: strength, bravery, and an unyielding spirit. Anya had proven herself time and again, and now she was their beacon of hope. Anya, the fierce huntress with eyes as blue as glacial ice and hair as black as a raven's wing. Her reputation as a skilled hunter and fearless warrior was well known. The challenge before her was dangerous, but Anya was no stranger to danger. She had faced the wild and emerged victorious many times. Hunt the mighty polar bear, bring back its heart. This was no ordinary task. The polar bear, a symbol of strength and resilience, was a formidable opponent. To hunt it required not just physical prowess, but also cunning and strategy. The heart of the bear was a symbol of leadership, a testament to the hunter's bravery and skill. Only then could she become their queen. Anya accepted without hesitation. Her determination was unwavering and her resolve was clear. She knew the risks, but she also knew that this was her destiny. The village needed her and she would not let them down. Her heart beat with the rhythm of the tundra. This was her destiny. The vast icy expanse called to her, and she felt a deep connection to the land. The tundra was not just her home, it was a part of her very being. She drew strength from its harsh beauty and found solace in its solitude. Anya prepared for her journey. She knew that every detail mattered. Her survival depended on her preparation. She packed her gear meticulously, ensuring that she had everything she needed for the arduous journey ahead. Each item was chosen with care, each piece of equipment essential for her mission. She chose her strongest horse, a magnificent beast with nostrils that breathed clouds of steam in the frigid air. The horse was not just a means of transportation, it was her companion, her ally in the wilderness. Together, they would face the challenges that lay ahead. She packed provisions, her trusty bow, and a quiver full of arrows. Each arrow was carefully inspected, each provision thoughtfully chosen. Anya knew that her success depended on her readiness, and she left nothing to chance. Her heart thrummed with anticipation. The tundra awaited. The journey ahead was daunting, but Anya felt a sense of excitement and purpose. She was ready to face whatever challenges came her way. The vast, snowy landscape stretched out before her, a blank canvas for her to conquer. Her journey was about to begin. With a final glance back at the village, Anya took her first steps into the wilderness. The path ahead was uncertain, but she was guided by her courage and determination. This was her moment, her call to courage, and she was ready to answer it. The tundra stretched before Anya, a vast expanse of white and grey under a sky the colour of pewter. The wind, sharp as a knife, bit at her exposed skin. Snow crunched under her horse's hooves, the only sound in the immense silence. Days blurred into nights. The sun, a pale ghost, offered little warmth. The biting wind seemed to whisper tales of challenge and hardship. Yet Anya pressed on. Her spirit, much like the tundra itself, was unyielding. She navigated by the stars, her constant companions in the vast emptiness. They whispered tales of courage and resilience, guiding her path. Her ancestors watched over her, their spirits woven into the fabric of the wind. She would not fail them. The air grew colder, the chill biting through layers of clothing and seeping into the bones. The landscape was a vast expanse of white, broken only by the occasional dark silhouette of a tree or rock. The silence was almost deafening, the only sound the crunch of snow underfoot and the occasional gust of wind that sent flurries of snow dancing through the air. A sign. The bear was close. The tracks were fresh, the edges still sharp and undisturbed by the wind. Anya knelt beside them, her gloved fingers tracing the outline of the massive paw print. She could almost feel the weight of the bear pressing into the snow, the power and grace of the creature evident in every step. Anya could feel it in her bones, an awareness that ran deeper than thought. She dismounted, leaving her horse tethered in a sheltered hollow. The animal's breath steamed in the cold air, its eyes wide and nervous. It could sense the presence of the predator too, its instincts honed by generations of survival in this harsh environment. Her breath rose in frosty plumes as she moved silently through the snowdrifts. Each step was deliberate, her movements fluid and controlled. She had spent years honing her skills, learning to move like a shadow through the wilderness. The snow was both her ally and her enemy, masking her approach but also hiding the dangers that lay in wait. Her eyes, sharp as a hawk's, scanned the landscape. Every detail was noted, every movement analyzed. She had learned to trust her instincts, to rely on the heightened senses that had kept her alive in this unforgiving land. The world around her was a tapestry of white and grey, the subtle variations in colour and texture revealing the secrets of the wilderness. Every shadow held the potential for danger, every drift a place for her prey to conceal itself. The bear was a master of its environment, its white fur blending seamlessly with the snow. Anya knew that she was not the only hunter in these woods, that the bear was as much a predator as she was, every drift a place for her prey to conceal itself. The landscape was a maze of hidden dangers, the snow concealing pitfalls and obstacles that could spell disaster for the unwary. Anya moved with the confidence of someone who had navigated these treacherous paths many times before, her every step a calculated risk. Her hand rested lightly on the bow, her fingers already memorizing the smooth feel of the wood. The weapon was an extension of herself, a tool that she had mastered through years of practice. She could feel the tension in the string, the potential energy waiting to be released. It was a comforting weight, a reminder of her skill and determination. The tundra, usually silent, seemed to hum with anticipation. The air was thick with the promise of conflict, the tension palpable. Anya could feel the eyes of the wilderness upon her, the silent witnesses to the drama that was about to unfold. She took a deep breath, steadying herself for the challenge ahead. Anya felt a strange sense of kinship with the bear, a fellow hunter at the edge of the world. They were both creatures of the wild, bound by the same laws of survival. But in this frozen arena there could be no room for sentiment. The bear was her prey, and she was its hunter. The outcome of their encounter would be determined by skill, strength, and the will to survive. But only one could emerge victorious from this frozen arena. The bear was a formidable opponent, its size and strength unmatched. But Anya had something that the bear did not, the cunning and intelligence of a human hunter. She had faced many challenges in her life, and she was determined to overcome this one as well. She would make sure it was her. With a final, determined breath, she prepared herself for the confrontation. The wilderness watched in silence, the outcome uncertain. But Anya knew one thing for sure: she would not back down. She would face the bear with all the strength and courage she possessed. And she would emerge victorious. Section 4. Silent Predator. A deep growl, barely audible, sent a shiver down Anya's spine. It was close. She moved like a wraith, her white furs blending seamlessly with the snow. There, in the distance, she saw it. The polar bear, a magnificent creature of snow and ice, lumbered across the frozen landscape. Its fur, as white as the newly fallen snow, provided perfect camouflage, but Anya had seen it. The hunt was on. Adrenaline surged through her veins, a thrilling cocktail of fear and exhilaration. She moved closer, her steps light and soundless on the packed snow. The wind, her ally, carried her scent away from the bear, masking her presence. The moment of truth was fast approaching. Section 5. Wild Dance of Death. The bear paused, its massive head swaying as it sniffed the air. The cold wind carried the scent of something unfamiliar, something that made the bear's instincts flare. It was a scent that spoke of danger, of a challenge lurking in the frozen wilderness. The bear's breath came out in visible puffs, each exhale a testament to the harshness of the environment it called home. Anya froze, her heart pounding a war drum against her ribs. She had trained for this moment, but nothing could truly prepare her for the reality of facing such a formidable creature. The bow in her hands felt both reassuring and terrifying. a lifeline and a weapon. Her breath was shallow, each inhale a struggle against the fear that threatened to paralyze her. Time seemed to stretch, each second an eternity. The snowflakes fell in slow motion, each one a tiny, delicate reminder of the passage of time. Anya could hear the ticking of her own internal clock, a countdown to the moment of decision. Every heartbeat echoed in her ears, a relentless reminder that time was both her ally and her enemy. She notched an arrow, her movements swift and silent. The bowstring felt taut under her fingers, a familiar tension that brought a strange sense of calm. She had practiced this motion countless times, but never with stakes so high. Each movement was deliberate, a dance of precision and control. Her eyes never left the bear, every muscle in her body attuned to its slightest movement. Her eyes met the bear's, a clash of wills across the frozen expanse. In that moment, they were equals, two beings bound by the same primal laws. The bear's eyes were dark and unreadable, a mirror to the wild, untamed world it inhabited. Anya's gaze was fierce, a reflection of her determination and resolve. It was a silent conversation, a mutual acknowledgement of the stakes at hand. The bear rose on its hind legs, its massive form casting a long shadow over the snow. It was a display of power, a reminder of the raw strength that Anya was up against. The bear's breath was a cloud of steam, its growl a low rumble that vibrated through the ground. Anya could feel the weight of its presence, a force of nature that demanded respect and caution. Anya held her breath, her finger resting lightly on the arrow's release. She knew that this moment would define her, a test of her skill and her courage. The world seemed to hold its breath with her, the silence of the forest amplifying the tension. Her focus was absolute, her mind clear of everything but the target before her. She was a hunter, and this was her moment. The air crackled with tension. It was a tangible force, a current that ran through the snow-covered trees and the frozen ground. Anya could feel it in her bones, a primal energy that connected her to the world around her. The forest was a silent witness to the unfolding drama, its ancient trees standing as sentinels to the age-old dance of predator and prey. This was a dance as old as time, predator and prey locked in a battle for survival. It was a ritual that had played out countless times in the history of the world, a testament to the relentless cycle of life and death. Anya and the bear were participants in this ancient dance, their roles defined by the laws of nature. Each movement, each decision was a step in the choreography of survival. A wave of sadness washed over Anya. She understood the gravity of what she was about to do, the life she was about to take. It was a necessary act, but that did not make it any easier. The bear was a magnificent creature, a symbol of the wild beauty of the tundra. Anya felt a deep respect for it, a sorrow for the inevitability of their confrontation, but she knew the law of the tundra. Only the strong survived. It was a harsh truth, one that had been ingrained in her from a young age. Survival was not a matter of choice, but of necessity. Anya steeled herself, drawing on the strength that had carried her through countless trials. She was a part of this land, a product of its unforgiving nature, and in this moment she was ready to do what needed to be done. Section 6, A Heart of Ice and Fire. With a roar that shook the very ice beneath their feet, the bear charged. Anya released her arrow. It flew straight and true, finding its mark in the bear's massive chest. The bear stumbled, its roar turning into a pained groan. Anya, her heart pounding, fitted another arrow to her bow, but there was no need. The bear, its lifeblood staining the pristine snow crimson, collapsed onto the frozen ground with a heavy thud. Silence descended once more, heavy and profound. Anya approached the fallen bear, her heart filled with a mixture of sadness and respect. This was no easy kill. This was a creature of immense power and majesty, and she had defeated it. When she returned to Tundra, the community held a grand celebration in her honor. They crowned her the Queen Warrior, acknowledging her bravery and leadership. The air was filled with joy and pride as the Tundra people celebrated their new queen. The village square, usually quiet and serene, was now bustling with life and laughter. Children danced around a roaring bonfire, their faces lit with awe and admiration for Anya. Elders who had seen many winters nodded in approval as they recounted tales of her courage. Anya stood tall, her heart swelling with a mix of humility and pride. She had not sought this honor, but she accepted it with grace, knowing that her journey had just begun. The night sky, filled with stars, seemed to mirror the sparkling eyes of her people. As they chanted her name, Anya realized that this moment was not just about her victory over the bear, it was about the unity and spirit of her community. She was not just a warrior, she was a symbol of hope and resilience for Tundra. As the celebration continued into the night, Anya knew that she would lead her people with the same courage and determination that had guided her through the Tundra's icy embrace. The Queen Warrior had returned, and with her, a promise of a brighter, stronger future for all of Tundra.